You've been pretty selfish at this point your whole entire career. What have you done for a lot of fighters? This would be a powerful statement for you to join. So stop it. Stop running. Stop hiding. Stop being selfish. We need all the help we can get in making this union. Conor McGregor, that's the message.
Jake Paul, the master of cringe and self-marketing, dropped a headline-grabbing announcement on December 29, 2024. Taking to Instagram, the YouTuber-turned-boxer declared that his next opponent would be none other than UFC superstar Conor McGregor. Jake believes he's about to rewrite sports history. But in reality, he's dragging boxing's already bruised reputation even deeper into the circus tent with yet another bizarre, headline-chasing stunt disguised as a boxing match.
Conor, you're saying the interest is low for the fight.
The interest is low and I don't know. I don't understand.
Let's just take a moment to appreciate how ridiculous this matchup really is. On one hand, you have Jake Paul, a man whose boxing career has become a spectacle that thrives entirely on attention. Whether people watch to cheer or to cringe, his entire brand is built on being impossible to ignore.
Speaking of professional boxers, the next fight could potentially be a professional boxer. I'm just getting started. I'm 26 years old, and there's only so much I can do.
A professional boxer? That's what Jake wants you to believe. But let's be honest, he built his 11-1 record by knocking out retired MMA fighters, influencers, and athletes long past their prime. His biggest win? Beating Anderson Silva, an all-time legend, sure, but one who was closer to collecting a retirement check than a title belt. Then there's his recent victory over a 58-year-old Mike Tyson, who appeared more focused on promoting weed than preparing for punches. But hey, in Jake's world, clout is king, and that's apparently all it takes to claim greatness.
In terms of like face-off views, this is, in my mind, the biggest fight the world will ever see.
They know that it's just like hard to handle for them because they've been like in the spotlight.
Now add Conor McGregor into the mix. Once a dominant force in the UFC, now more famous for selling whiskey and flexing on Instagram than actually fighting. McGregor's career took a sharp dive after 2017, the year he stepped into a boxing ring and got dismantled by Floyd Mayweather over 10 rounds. Since then, his appearances in actual fights have been sporadic at best. His highlight reel since 2021? A leg-breaking injury and a lot of promotional work for proper no. 12. And now we're meant to believe he's stepping into a ring ready to go toe-to-toe with Jake Paul? Let's call it what it is, a shameless cash grab. Reports estimate this event could rake in $250 million, a staggering amount for a glorified exhibition between a YouTuber and a semi-retired UFC icon. Forget technique, legacy, or honor, this fight is about who can stir up the most headlines and sell the most pay-per-views. Boxing's new tagline might as well be, drama sells more than discipline.
In insane shape.
Man, I wish Conor wasn't doing this stuff.
And behind this circus? Indian billionaire Anant Ambani bankrolling the entire spectacle as part of a tourism campaign to promote India. Because nothing screams Visit India like two global celebrities flailing at each other in Mumbai's Wankhede Stadium. While the venue holds 33,000 fans, the real audience will be watching from home, millions of people paying to see whether Jake can talk his way into legitimacy, or if Conor still has something left. The lead-up has been pure chaos. Jake has spent years taunting McGregor, shouting into the void with outrageous trash talk, meme-worthy videos, and constant trolling. And McGregor? Instead of tuning him out like the rest of the world, he took the bait. Now here we are watching two oversized egos reduce boxing to clickbait. And then we come to Conor McGregor, a name that once sent shockwaves through the world of combat sports, now attempting a comeback so improbable that even the most optimistic fans are calling it a miracle in the making. After suffering one of the most gruesome injuries in UFC history, snapping his leg like a brittle twig during his 2021 trilogy bout against Dustin Poirier, McGregor found himself sidelined not just from the octagon, but from relevance in the competitive fight world. It was a moment that seemed to mark the end of an era. The Irish superstar, once known for walking through fire and dismantling opponents with a mix of precision, power, and psychological warfare, was suddenly reduced to a man in a hospital bed with his future in question. To his credit, McGregor didn't retreat into obscurity. Instead, he went to war with himself. Years of grueling rehabilitation followed. Hours of physical therapy, strength rebuilding, and mental resilience just to walk normally again, let alone prepare for elite-level fighting. McGregor's grind behind the scenes has been relentless. He's pushed his body through pain barriers and adapted his training to recover from trauma that would have ended most athletes' careers. And now, in 2025, he's trying to pull off what few in combat sports history have managed, reinvent himself as a boxer while carrying the weight of his MMA legacy and a body that's been through hell. Sure, that kind of dedication is admirable. The man clearly still has fire in his belly. But admiration doesn't erase the cold, hard facts. McGregor's last legitimate appearance in a boxing ring was all the way back in 2017, the mega-hyped spectacle against Floyd Mayweather. And let's be honest, while it made financial history, it was hardly a competitive fight. Mayweather, a defensive genius and arguably the greatest boxer of his generation, danced around Conor for 10 rounds before effortlessly putting him away. It was a lopsided affair that exposed how steep the learning curve really is between MMA striking and world-class boxing. That night showed us that while McGregor had guts, his boxing IQ and stamina weren't even in the same universe as Mayweather's. Now fast forward nearly 8 years. Since that Mayweather bout, McGregor's boxing evolution has been stagnant at best. He hasn't stepped into a boxing ring under real competition rules since. In the meantime, the fight game has moved forward. New talents have emerged, standards have risen, and the physical demands have only grown tougher. McGregor, on the other hand, has dealt with injuries, business ventures, and a fading spotlight. His social media posts may still show a shredded physique, shadowboxing clips, and confident declarations, but behind the scenes, the reality remains. Ring rust is real, and time doesn't wait for legends to catch up.
What do you think about Conor tweeting still at like 3 a.m. like coked out?
He sent shots at me and Ryan talking shit. It's crazy coming from Conor, who literally got out of the USADA pool to do legit steroids. And I was the biggest Conor fan for a long time. In the last couple weeks, ever since he sent that, I've been trying to hate him. I've been trying to be like, fuck you, Conor. I can't. I love Conor.
And what about McGregor? He's attempting a comeback that would be incredible if it wasn't so unlikely. Since breaking his leg in 2021, Conor has focused on rehab and recovery. He's trying to translate his MMA skill set into boxing, but the last time he stepped into a boxing ring was 2017. He's older now, and his body has taken a beating. He might still have heart, but the question is, can his body cash the checks his brand keeps writing? Physically, the matchup is a mismatch. Jake is 6 feet 1 inch, weighing around 190 pounds. McGregor is 5 feet 9 inches and walks around at about 170 pounds. That's a significant size difference. Sure, Jake has used his size to beat over-the-hill fighters and influencers, but Conor is used to fighting elite-level killers inside the octagon. Despite this, betting odds favor Jake at minus 175, while McGregor is a plus 155 underdog. That's right, Jake Paul is favored to beat Conor McGregor in a boxing match. If that doesn't tell you how warped the fight game has become, nothing will. Even boxing analysts are divided. Paulie Malignaggi says Jake could knock Conor out. Let that sink in. The guy who built his name on prank videos is now being seriously discussed as a KO artist. Meanwhile, Eddie Alvarez, former UFC champ, reminds us that McGregor is still locked into a UFC contract. And Dana White? He's not known for letting his stars waltz into boxing rings without a fight of his own, usually legal. Fans are split. Jake's fans see this as the moment he proves he's for real. Conor's loyal followers want to see Jake finally get humbled. And the rest of us? We're watching boxing become a soap opera in gloves. Let's not pretend this is about athletic legacy. It's about monetizing hype. Jake gets to continue the illusion that he's a legitimate threat in the ring. McGregor collects a fat paycheck without facing a real UFC contender. And the audience? We get chaos, memes, and another reminder that in modern combat sports, hype always sells better than honor. At the end of the day, no matter who wins in the ring, the real winner is the money. Because this isn't a fight, it's a business. And Jake Paul and Conor McGregor are just the two latest salesmen cashing in on boxing's biggest product, attention.